This is Kaufman is Alive YouTube channel. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at an old comic book, Captain America #1. This is by Rob Liefeld and Jeff Loeb. This is the first issue of the Captain America from Heroes Reborn in 1996. So I wanted to do this comic book in honor of Independence Day. So happy Independence Day to you. Rob Liefeld, pretty polarizing figure in comic books. Some love him, some hate him. Um, I like him. I like his work. I was always a big fan of him when I was a kid. He's got a very striking style. Certainly his own unique style, you might say. And here he's working on Captain America. Right away, you notice the main difference here, which got a lot of flack back in the 90s, was he changed the A to this eagle. Personally, I like the change. In hindsight, I think it looks kind of cool. I know the A is pretty classic, but why not get another mask? Why not have two masks? Switch it up. On Tuesday wear the A, on Wednesday wear the eagle. Um, I don't see the big deal. But one of the interesting things about this comic is basically we've got Steve Rogers here with the Winter Soldier plot. So, like a decade after this, we basically see Marvel repurpose this plot that Jeff Loeb and Rob Liefeld came up with for Heroes Reborn Captain America, and they used it in the 616 to create the Winter Soldier. So basically, in this comic book, Steve Rogers was never frozen in ice. He's just been alive for years and years and doesn't have any recollection of World War II. He's basically a Manchurian candidate, like a sleeper agent. And in this issue is when he finally gets woken up. So we see him at his job here. He's telling his guys at lunch that he had this weird dream that he was this guy in an outfit with a shield and a flag. And his friend who's sitting with at the table excuses himself and he goes, "Transfer me to a secured line. Sir, we may have a problem." So they've been watching Steve Rogers the whole time. And his memories are slowly coming to the surface. Here he falls asleep again. We get another splash page here by Liefeld. He draws all the faces the same here. It's kind of funny. Like the Nazis have the same face as Captain America. We get this sidekick character who we're going to find out about here. We just get a little prelude to what her story is. Her name's Ricky Barnes. And her brother and her brother's friend are going to this World Party rally, which is basically like the new Nazi party. Then we get a first look at the Nazi that we're talking about. He's living in his castle somewhere elsewhere in the city. I guess, I don't know where this takes place. I don't even know if it says. It's just the city. I don't think it ever tells us what city we're in. Oh, Philadelphia. All right, so we're in Philadelphia. Apparently, there's a giant castle in Philadelphia somewhere. That's where Master Man is, and he's the. It says he's the Uberman, the perfect German, the very symbol of the Nazi Party. He was once the pride of the Aryan race. So Liefeld loves these guys on a throne like this, just like a stone throne. And we get it once again here. It's kind of like looking like Strife without the helmet in a way, with the giant shoulder pads and the stone throne. And I like some of the faces here that he's drawing. They kind of remind me of like an Eric Larson face. He'd do this kind of shading all around the face and have some color lines in the middle on the brow just to show like how angry or evil they are. That's something Larson had done before. He does it here too. Looks very much like an Eric Larson face. I like that. It looks really good. He always loves drawing these just really long bodies, does Liefeld. And he always draws the crotch the same way, with just lots of lines going towards it, like a big triangle. I mean, that's just his style. He always does it. We get these weird faces with like beady eyes and no eyeballs. So this man just walks up to Steve Rogers here. He says, I've waited half a lifetime for this moment, and you look like you haven't aged a day. He says, I'm sorry, you must have me confused with someone else. I'm not captain of anything. I've never even been on a boat. And he says, you have been on a boat. Everything from a destroyer to an aircraft carrier. So this guy takes Captain America to his house and opens up this chest that I guess he's been keeping the shield in this whole time. It says he's been traveling from Moscow to Peru trying to find Steve Rogers, and every time he would, the scent would go cold. So I don't understand why he's traveling from Peru to Moscow looking for Steve Rogers, and he's carrying around the shield in this case. He just found it at like some what does he say here? On display in a castle outside of East Berlin. It was wrong for it to be there, so I took it. So they don't even show how he got the shield. He just explains he found it and he took it, and now he's going to give it to Captain Rogers here. And of course we get some faceless hordes here, which Liefeld always likes to draw. It's easy to draw faceless bad guys like the Putty People here, or the Foot Clan. And they shoot some missiles at the house where they are and blow up the house. And some weird use of like, this must be like really early computer graphics here on like the smoke and this explosion. It really stands out here in the book. Not in a good way either. I would definitely have preferred to see Liefeld just draw the explosion. So we get these faceless bad guys checking out the rubble. And then we get a pretty classic shot of the shield coming out through the rubble here. This is a good panel, one of the better panels I've seen. But kind of a weird choice to just show this like gray silhouette, but still like muscle shaded version of Captain America here, as the shield just kind of flies over to him, and he's got the shield here, I guess. I don't know. We get the big splash page here. Lots of big, thick inking lines. And it looks like they use some computer coloring here too on the shield to give it some more depth. Pretty cool. Not much to it, just a big muscly portrait of Captain America there. And get another big splash page here. Captain America about to go toe-to-toe with these Nazis from the World Party. I wonder if Liefeld actually drew all these buildings in the back here. Usually don't see that level of detail on a Liefeld drawing, especially on a background. With all the computer-generated stuff in here, I almost wonder if this was like a computer-placed asset in the background. Makes me wonder. We finally get some good action here with Captain America. He uses the shield to slice up the bad guy, which is kind of gnarly. You don't see that often in Captain America. This is a weird looking shield. It looks almost like flat and I don't know, it just looks kind of weird the way Liefeld drew that. I like these guys getting smashed away by the shield though. That's kind of a cool panel. Some good pages here, continuing to just smash all these guys. Again, no real backgrounds to speak of at all, which really makes me question that other page with that has all the background. Like, that just doesn't seem to go with the rest of this book. Just get some speed lines to make up for backgrounds here. Doesn't even bother on some of these other ones. Really long body and legs here on this on this illustration. But Cap says Abe, and he finds that his friend who gave him the shield here was killed in the explosion. Again, no backgrounds at all, just some little hash marks in the background. No eyeballs. It's some bizarre choices, but then he has eyeballs in this one. And the star on this shield looks terrible. Man, but Liefeld just cares about drawing the big muscles, the intense faces. And he's good at that. I won't say he's not. This is kind of a weird splash page, though. Just a really bizarre looking face. This is Captain America, believe it or not. Overcome with vengeance, it looks like. Let me get a little epilogue of S.H.I.E.L.D. finding out that the Patriot, as they call him, has been awoken. So I like this drawing of Nick Fury. This is really well done. I like the reflection in the glass too. I almost wonder if that is computer generated. Really long body here on Sharon Carter. And final splash page here. Not too bad of a portrait of Nick Fury here, I think. And we got Captain America running at you. And that's about it. So let me know what you guys think. Have you guys read this one before? It's got some interesting ideas, like I said, that they would use in future storylines. Kind of wonky art though, and but a good story. I like the story in here actually. So I like this Master Man villain too. He's got a cool look to him. So yeah, happy 4th of July to you, and thanks for watching the video. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't yet, please do, and I'll see you on the next video.